Myself Padmaja, Associate Professor, Department of CAC, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today, let us discuss about a number of problems regarding the loops. So, we have three types of loops in C programming. One is called for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So, you know that all these three loops are divided into majorly two categories. Okay, one is called entry control loops and exit control loops. So, let us discuss a number of problems regarding loops today. So, let us start with the first problem. So, for example, initially suppose int I is equal to 1. Okay, let us write a for loop. So, for as we have initialized the value of I as 1, so the initialization part in the for loop, I am leaving it empty. So, I am just keeping the semicolon and then writing the condition as I less than 4 and then I plus plus. Now, after writing at the end of the for loop, I am giving a semicolon and then I want to print the value of I. So, if you write the code like this, then what will be the output? So, observe the code once more. We have initialized the value of I as 1 and so there is no initialization part. We have written the condition as I less than 4. So, first time I is equal to 1. So, 1 is less than 4 is true. So, if the condition is true, then the control will go inside the loop. So, inside the loop, we are printing the value of 1. So, but you have to observe over here that at the end of the for loop, we have written a semicolon. So, if you write a semicolon, will it print the value of I? That means the printer will be executed? No, because the semicolon says that it will do nothing. The control will go inside the loop, but it will do nothing. So, the loop will run 4 times. So, every time I will be incremented. So, first time I is equal to 1, second time I becomes 2, third time I becomes 3 and when I becomes 4, the condition fails and it will come out of the while loop. So, when it will come out of the while loop, there is a printf statement to print the value of I. So, it will print the value as 4. So, if there is no semicolon, then it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3. When it becomes 4, it will stop the loop. So, please observe while doing programming whether semicolon is kept or not. So, in for loop, in C programming, you can write a semicolon. It means that do nothing over here. So, let us save this and run this program to see the output. So, first let us save the C source file and compile and run. Now, look at the output on the screen. The output on the screen is coming as 4 because we have put a semicolon. Now, let us remove this semicolon and check it once more so that what will be the output. So, now you can see the output as 1, 2 and 3. So, to give the proper gap, we can give 1 or 2 space gap so that the output can be visible properly. Now, we can see the output as 1, 2 and 3. So, just observe the difference. When you will put the semicolon, what will happen? When you remove the semicolon, then the normal way of the loop is working and it is printing the value of I every time. Okay. So, let us move on to the next question. Now, in the next question, suppose initially I value is 5. Okay. Now, instead of writing a for loop, let me write a do while loop. So, do. Now, what you want to do? You want to print the value of I. So, I am writing %d and after writing %d, I am writing I minus minus. Okay. And in the do while loop, you need to write down the condition. So, we are writing then the condition as while I greater than 0. Now, what will be the output of this code? Now, we have initialized I is equal to 5. So, do while is an exit control loop. So, at least the loop will be executed once. So, first I is equal to 5 initially. Now, the printer will be executed. So, I value will be printed over here once. Then it will check. Then it is decremented. So, I becomes 4. So, 4 is greater than 0. Yes. Then it will continue the loop again. So let us run this and see the output. So you can see the output as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let me give proper spacing to see the output properly. So now you can check the output. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is printed. So this is called the do while loop. Now let us go for the next problem. So this problem is very simple, where a simple do while loop is there and the I value is every time decremented and printed. Now let us go for the third problem. So in the third problem, let us take two variables int a comma b initially and then write two for loops. So for a is equal to 0, then what you will do, that condition is if a less than 10, then you do a plus plus, and after that there is a semicolon. So please observe the semicolon, and inside this there is another for loop. So for b is equal to 25, then the condition is if b greater than 9, and then do b minus is equal to 3 and put a semicolon at the end. And then there is a printf statement to print the final values of a and b. So percentile d write twice, then followed by print the value of a and b. Now observe this simple program. Initially there are two variables a and b. So in the first for loop a is equal to 0. So 0 is less than 10, the condition is true. Okay. Now when the condition is true, there is a semicolon at the end. It means that do nothing. So then the inner for loop is for b is equal to 25 initially, b greater than 9. 25 is greater than 9. Yes, it is true. Then there is a semicolon at the end, that do nothing. But the loop will continue. Next time b is decremented by 3 and a is incremented by 1, and the loops will be continued until the condition becomes false. So you can see the outer loop will be stopped when a becomes 10, because 10 is less than 10 is false. So when a becomes 10, the outer loop will be false. Similarly, when b value is less than, every time the b value is decremented by 3. So when b value is less than 9, then the loop will be stopped. So you run and see that what is the a value and b value. So you can see over here, when a value becomes 10, the outer loop is stopped. When b value is 7, then the inner loop is also stopped. So what is the final value of a and b? The final value of a and b are 10 and 7. So every time b value is decremented by 3, you can see over here. So this is the output. 10 and 7 are the final values for a and b. So hope this question is clear to you. Now let us discuss about the next question. Now the next question is, let us take one float variable. Initially there is a float variable. There is no initialization for the value of the float variable here. Now let us write a for loop for I is equal to your 0.1 semicolon I less than 0.4 and then I plus plus. Or you can write I plus is equal to 0.1 because this is float. Now we will write down a printf statement, printf, then percentile your dot 0.1 f after decimal up to one place we want, and then print the value of I. So to give proper spacing, let me give a tab space here. Okay. Now this is the simple question. There is a float variable I. Initially the value of the float variable I is 0.1. So 0.1 is less than 0.4. Yes, it is true. If it is true, then print the value of I. Then every time I is incremented by 0.1. Next time it becomes 0.2. So again 0.2 is less than 0.4. Yes, then print it again. So this process will be continued here 3 times. So when I becomes 0.4, the loop is going to stop. So the output you can see on the screen, it is 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3. So when I becomes 0.4, this loop is going to stop. So hope this problem is clear. So here 0.1f means after decimal up to 1 place only we need it. Okay, so you can write like this. Suppose if you will remove this 0.1f, then you can observe the difference. So you can see in the output what you are getting, that 0.1 after that 5 zeros. That means up to 6 decimal places the precision is coming. So this is the output. Similarly, you can, if you want, you can write down your 0.2f. That means after decimal up to 2 places. So you can see the output as 0.10, 0.20, 0.30. This is the way the output formattings are done. So this is about the simple question regarding the for loop. Now let us move on to the next question. Now again declare a variable int I. Now you write down for I equal to, let us take -10. Initially I equals to -10. Then negation of I and then I plus plus. Okay, and print the value of I, but I want to print the value of -I over here. Okay, now what is the initial value of I? The initial value of I is -10. So you know that in your computer, whether the number is a positive number or a negative number, but it is always treated as a true number. It is true. When the number is 0, it is treated to be false. So based on that condition, your I is equal to -10 is a true number. So -10 negation of I. Let us see the condition as negation of I. So negation of any true number is false. That means the condition becomes false. So when the condition becomes false, it will come out of the while loop. It will come out of the for loop, and after the loop there is a print statement to print the value of I. So what is the value of I? I's value is 10. So we want to print -I. So minus of -10 becomes +10. So let us see the output. Okay. So you can observe the output over here. Now what you will do, let us put a semicolon over here. And you can see the output as 10 over here. Okay. So hope this question is clear. So now let us go for the next question. Now again take one integer variable int I and write down a for loop. For I is equal to 2. Then multiple initialization you can do in the for loop. So we can write I plus is equal to 2. Then condition I less than is equal to 9. And then I plus is equal to 2. So multiple initializations are allowed in the for loop. So here we have done initially I is equal to 2. Then I plus is equal to 2. That means I is again incremented to 4. Now the condition is 4 is less than equal to 9. Yes, it is true. So if it is true, if the condition is true, what you are going to do inside the for loop? Let us write that we are going to print the value of I. So %d, comma, I value we are going to print it. So then first time I is 4. 4 is less than equal to 9. Yes, it is true. So 4 will be printed. Then I plus is equal to 2. I is incremented by 2. So I plus 2 means it becomes 6. 6 is less than equal to 9. Yes, it is true. So then 6 will be printed. Then again I is incremented by 2. I becomes 8. So 8 will be also printed. So when I becomes 10, then this loop is going to stop. So let us run and see the output as 4, 6 and 8. So you can see the output as 4, 6 and 8. To see the proper output, let us give some space over here and let us rerun and see the output here. The output is 4, 6 and 8. So let us move on to the next question. Hope this question is clear. Let us move on to the next question. Suppose we are writing like this, for there is a semicolon, and if you will write printf, and inside this printf if you are going to write IARE, and there is again one more semicolon. Okay. Now, for this question, what will be the output? So, you can see over here, there is no initialization. There is, in the condition, we have written a printf statement to print the string IARE, and there is no your updation also. So, in this, what will be the output? So, you can see that the output, the IARE, will be printed infinite times on the screen because there is no terminating condition over here. So, you can see over here, IARE is printed. So, if you want to make it infinite times, so let us see the output. So, the IARE is now printed infinite times. So, what you observed over here? So, when I remove the semicolon, it has printed only IARE once. Okay? Because there is no initialization, there is a printf statement, so IARE has been printed. So, when it goes inside, there is no updation. So, it has printed only once. So, when you will put a semicolon over here, then you can observe that the IARE will be printed infinite times on the screen. So, let us observe these minute differences while doing programming. Now, let us go for the next question. In the next question, initially suppose there is an integer variable and we'll write down a for loop. So, for semicolon. So, we'll write down one conditional statement that I equals to 4. So, we'll write down a conditional statement using ternary operator over here. So, here we'll write down I minus 4, then colon is I plus plus. And as usual, there is no updation of the variable. So, here also we are going to print the value of I. We are going to print the value of I over here. Then what will be the output? So, you can see over here, there is no initialization. So, initially I contains 0 or garbage, depends on the compiler. So, in def C++, initially I contains 0. Now, you can see in the condition I equals to 4. So, this is an assignment statement. That means 4 will be stored into I. So, now I becomes 4. So, if it is 4, then the condition becomes true. So, assignment is successful. So, condition is true. If it is true, then what you are going to do? I minus 4. So, when you do I minus 4, 4 minus 4 becomes 0. So, the whole condition is now 0. That means your condition is false. Then what will happen? Whether it will print the value of I or not. Let us check the output. Now you can see that nothing is coming on the screen because the condition is false. So, it has come out of the loop. Okay. So, nothing is printed on the screen. So, hope this question is clear because I value has already become 0. Now, let us go for the next question. Now, let us take a short integer. In the next question, let us take a short integer. So, short I and write down a for loop. So, initially the for loop, the initialization is I is equal to 1, then followed by your I greater than equals to 0 and then I plus plus. Now, we want to print the value of I. Now, what will be the output for this question? So, initially I is equal to 1. 1 is greater than equals to 0? Yes. So, it is 1 is greater than equals to 0. Condition is true. So, print the value of I. So, 1 will be printed. Then, I becomes incremented by 1, I plus plus. So, I becomes 2. 2 is greater than equal to 0? Yes, it is true. So, 2 will be printed. Now, how far the value of I will be printed? Will it be printed infinite times? Or is there any boundary that I will be printed up to some limit? That you have to understand. So, when you save and run this program, compile and run this program, let us observe the output on the screen. Now, you can see that I value is incremented it is printed from 1 to how far? Let us observe at the end. So let us see, the I value is every time getting incremented and displayed on the screen. So if you will observe this, then you will find out that I value will be stopped at 32,767. That is the range of short integer. That is the range of short integer. That is the reason I value has been incremented and printed up to 32,767. So please do not simply say that it is infinite times, as it is a short integer. So there is a limit or boundary for the I value. So that is 32,767. So observe this output carefully and then write your answer. So hope this question is clear. So let us go for the next question. Now let us understand the next question. Now suppose if I am writing integer k is equal to 0. So k is a simple integer variable and I am writing a for loop. For k, printf hello. If I am writing like this, then what will be the output? K is an integer variable. Initially it is equal to 0 and I have written a for loop and I want to print a string hello. Then what will be the output on the screen? Now you can see that when you compile it, you are getting an error. So why you are getting an error? Because you have not satisfied the for loop syntax criteria. What is that? The for loop has 3 parts and all the 3 parts are not mandated to write, but you need to give the semicolons. So I am giving now 2 semicolons. Here k value is initialized to 0. Yes, it is done outside the loop. No problem. So k value is 0. If you want to write any terminating condition, you can write. Okay, no problem, we have not written. Then to update the value of k also, we have not written any condition. But you must have to follow the syntax of for loop. So the for loop has got 3 parts separated by 2 semicolons that you have to follow it. Now let us see that what is happening on the screen, that hello is coming infinite times because there is no terminating condition over here. As k value is initially 0, but there is no terminating condition. So condition checking part is not there. So the string hello is printed infinite times. So hope this question's answer is clear. So let us move on to the next question. Now next question is, let us write int I is equal to 0. Then for I plus plus, then semicolon I double equals to 1 is the condition and then I is equal to 2 is the assignment that we are doing in the updation part. Now we are writing printf inside the loop. Okay, then put a semicolon and write down one more printf statement that outside the loop. So for this question, what will be the output? So what we have written? Initially I is equal to 0, I plus plus. So I value is initial 0, then it becomes 1. Okay, when you go for condition checking, that time the value of I is incremented to 1, post increment. Now 1 is equal to 1 is true. Yes, if it is true, then it is going inside the for loop and printing the statement inside the loop. Then I is equal to 2. So when I is equal to 2, then it is called a simple assignment. So the earlier value of I is equal to 1 will be overwritten by I is equal to 2 now. Now I is equal to 2. So again it comes to condition checking. So 2 is equal to 1 is false. So when it is false, it will come out of the for loop, and outside the for loop there is a statement printf outside the loop. So the output, the final output will be inside the loop will be printed and also outside the loop will be printed. So let us see the output. Now you can see inside the loop and outside the loop both the statements are printed. So this is the question. Now, hope this is clear. Let us go for the next question. Now, let us go for the next question. Do, and inside the do statement, let us write inside the loop and for a do while loop, let us write while 0 and let us write down a printf statement outside the loop. What will happen when you run this code? Okay, now there is a do while loop. You know that everyone knows do while loop is an exit control loop. At the exit, the condition will be checked. If the condition is true, then it will re-enter into the loop. If the condition is false, then it will come out of the loop. So, without checking any condition, at least once do while loop will be executed. So, let us see. So, do, there is a printf. Inside the loop will be executed and displayed. Then at the while, the condition is while 0. 0 means false. So, the condition becomes false. So, it will not re-enter into the loop. So, when it comes out, there is one more printf that is outside the loop. That string will be printed. So in this manner, inside the loop and outside the loop, both the statements are printed on the screen. Let us see the output. So have a look that the output is inside the loop and outside the loop. Okay, now let us go for some more problems using your loops. Now, let us go for, suppose int a is equal to 0, comma, I is equal to 0 and there is a variable called b. Okay. Now, write a for loop that for I is equal to 0 and I less than 5 and I plus plus. Now, inside the for loop, there is a statement called a plus plus and continue. A plus plus and continue. And outside the loop, we want to print the value of a. If the code is like this, then what will be the output? So, here I is a looping variable. Initially, the variable a contains 0. Okay. Now, here b is also not required. You can remove this variable b as we didn't use it. Now, I is equal to 0. Yes. Then 0 is less than 5. Look at the condition for the for loop. 0 is less than 5. Yes, it is true. If it is true, come inside, do a plus plus. So, a becomes 1. So, after that, there is a statement called continue. It will go to the beginning of the loop. Okay. It will go to the beginning of the loop and it will rerun the loop. Then I becomes 1, 1 is less than 5. Yes, then a plus plus. So, this way, the loop will be continued 5 times. So, what will be the output? If you will print the value of a, so you can see the output is 5. Okay. So, the output is 5 over here. So, you know that there are 3 important statements or keywords used in C programming. One is called break, your continue, and your go to statements are used. So normally break and continue, break statement is used to break the loop based on some condition. Continue statement is also used to continue the loop based on some condition. So this way also continue statement can be used. These are the 2 important statements used mainly inside the loops. So hope this question is understood. Let us move on to the next question. Now, let us take this similar question. Initial a is equal to 0, I is equal to 0 and let us take. So, here instead of writing a plus plus, if we will add one condition that if I is equal to 3, instead of writing continue, we can also write a break statement. Okay, and then print the value of a. So, then what will be the value of final value of a? So let us observe the question once more. Initially I is equal to 0. 0 is less than equal to 5. Yes, true. Then if the condition is true, you are doing a plus plus, then we are checking the value of I. So here the value of I is initially 0. 0 equals to 3. No. So loop breaking up the loop will not be taking place. Then I becomes 1. 1 is less than 5. Yes. So I is now A is again incremented to 2. Now I value is 1. 1 is equal to 3. No. So I plus plus. So I becomes 2. A becomes 3. So when I becomes 3, A will be your 4. A will be 4. The loop has run fourth time. Fourth time the loop will be break. So that time the value of A is now 4. So outside the loop we have written to print the value of A. So let us run this. So what output you are getting? We are getting the output that the value of A is equal to 4. Okay. So this way, this you can write down the loops. Now let us go for another example. Now let us go for that. Suppose we want to display the odd numbers. Okay. Then how to do it using all the 3 different types of loops. So for that, let us take initially int I is equal to, for example, it is 1. Okay. Now you can write down, suppose you want to display only the odd numbers from 1 to 10. How many odd numbers are there? So you can write down if I is less than equal to 10. I is less than equal to 10. Every time for each value of I. So I is equal to 1. 1 is less than equal to 10 is true. While loop is true. So we can check if I is an odd number or not. So if we can write I modulus 2. If I modulus 2, then print the value of I. Okay. So what will happen? If you want, you can also write like this. Okay. First, let us see the output and then we'll rectify it. So what you are getting output on the screen, that all are ones. But this is not the output that we wanted. So here what we have missed? We have missed the I plus plus statement over here. Okay. So let us rerun again. So you can see that the odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. You are getting as the output. Okay. So if you want, you can also write if I modulus 2 double equals to 1, then also you can print. But that is not required because I modulus 2, when it returns 1, then only the odd numbers are printed, otherwise not. Okay. So you can see the same output over here. Similarly, if you want to display only the even numbers, you can change it to 0. So if you will change it to 0, then even numbers will be printed. So you can see the output 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 are printed. Now the same question, we can simply change this loop to for loop also. Okay, let us first change it to your do while loop. If it is do while loop, then the condition part we'll write down at the end. So we'll make it, remove it from here and write down the condition at the end. And simply put a do over here. So initially I is equal to 0. Let us first print the odd numbers. Okay. Now it is an exit control loop. Initially I is equal to 1. 1 modulus 2 is returns 1 only. So if it is 1, then print the value of I. Then I becomes 2. Then 2 will be checked. The condition, when you check the condition, that time I value becomes 2. So 2 is less than equal to 10. Yes. 2 is less than equal to 10 is true. Then it will go again and it will run it. It will check it the if condition. Now let us see the output. So you will find out the same output using do while loop also. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are the odd numbers. Okay, if you want to print the even numbers, so you can just write down as I modulus 2 equal to 0. Then you can find out the even numbers over here. Now, the same thing we can do it with the for loop also. So, whenever you write a for loop, then you need not do any initialization. So, let us remove this initialization. Simply write I just declare the variable, and we can do it here. I is equal to 1. Then the condition is I less than is equal to 10 and I plus plus. So, the advantage of for loop is it has 3 parts: initialization, condition checking, and updation of the variable. So, here we will remove all this. Simply let us go for printing the odd numbers first. So, to print the odd numbers, we have written that initially I is equal to 1, 1 is less than equal to 10, yes. Then I modulus 2 returns 1, so it is an odd number. So, then I is updated to 2 and so on. So, this process will be repeated till I reaches to here 10. Up to 10 it is satisfied. When I becomes 11, the loop condition is false, and you can see the output over here. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 is the output. So, next, if you want to print the even numbers, simply change this condition to if I modulus 2 double equals to 0. Then you can see the output as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So, these are the even numbers. So, this way, this looping questions you can try it. Now, let us go for one more question regarding the go to statement. Now, go to statements are used normally to make the jump from one location to another location in the code. So, you can do unconditional jump statement or unconditional jumping using go to statement. Okay. Now, you can do both forward jump and backward jump. So, let us see one small example how to use go to statement. Now, suppose I want to read a variable. If the number is a positive number, then only I want to display. If the number is 0 or negative, then I want to reread the number. Okay. So, let us declare a variable I, int I, and read the number. So, let me write here, enter a number. Now, I want to check the value of I if it is greater than 0. That means if it is a positive number, then only I want to display that number. So, like this, positive number. If the number is negative, else I want to go to the label called read and I want to reread the number. So, you can put the label over here. So, we will reread the number again. Okay. So, let us see the output. Compile and run. So, you can see the output screen. It is asking enter a number. Suppose if I am entering a number 5. So, 5 is a positive number. No problem. So, let me run it again. If I am giving a number -5, then it is going to the reads part again and it is again asking me to enter a number. If I am giving 0, so it is telling me to enter the number again. Then if I give any positive number, then it is saying that it is a positive number. Okay. So if you want, you can just restructure the program a little bit. Else, you can write here a printf statement like read the number again, and go to read part. Let us run and see the program. So if I am entering -5, then it is telling me the message read the number again. So if I am entering 0, it is also telling me to read the number again. If I give any positive number, it is just displaying that number. Thank you so much. In this video, we have learned a number of problems, how to solve those problems using different types of loops and along with break, continue and go to statement. Thank you so much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.